covering the Northern Bahamas? You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The Ministry of Education continues to mourn the passing of some of its key members of its school security staff. The ministry's chief security passed away a few days ago, leaving a big void in the school security unit. Well, tonight, those who worked closely with the security boss say they are touched by his passing. Megan Shepard reports.
Staff members of the Ministry of Education here on Grand Bahama mourning the loss of their chief security officer, former police sergeant Franklin McCoy. Many describing McCoy as a giant of a man, one who was firm but very personable. Senior education officer in the Ministry of Education, Galen Pinder, says that one of McCoy's responsibilities included securing the building in the mornings and evenings.
He would walk through the sections throughout the course of the day, just checking and saying good morning to everyone. And oftentimes I'm one of the last persons to leave the office along with a few others, and several times we were locked in. He didn't know we were still here, and he would lock the outer door. And so we had to find another way to get out through the main door back into the stairs. So Mr. McCoy was a very personable person, and he will surely be missed here at the ministry.
Principal Jasmine Hepburn is also McCoy's niece. He says that he always gave good advice, was very active within his church, and a devoted family man.
Sergeant McCoy is a man of few words. He was serious. He was energetic. He was a family man. He was an avid church goer, and he loved his work. My memories of him would be one of always reminding me dates and times are very important. And also, when you come to work, come to do your job. You didn't come to gain friends, just do your job.
Supervisor of the Western School Security District, Stephanie Culmer-Griffin, was overwhelmed with emotion as she reflected on her 13-year working relationship with McCoy. She says that he had a by-the-book approach to his job, but was very loving.
Mr. McCoy was more than just my boss. He became my father on the job. Things that I would say to him, I never even said to my parents. I've been asked to hold on to the security department, and this is an awesome job. I'm prepared to do it, but I have some big shoes to fill.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Megan. Well, District Superintendent for the Western District, Ivan Butler, also expressing condolences to the family members of Franklin McCoy. He says that McCoy played an instrumental role in security and safety policies.
In recent times, the ministry has implemented a policy of vetting individuals being hired, and Mr. McCoy was very, very effective in vetting persons, both Bahamians and non-Bahamians. He brought a sense of professionalism to our security staff. He was responsible for training our staff, and he also assisted persons with individual matters as it relates to security, personal security, and matters relating to the police. We were all saddened by the news, and he will be deeply missed. He brought a sense of integrity to our security staff. He did an excellent job of training them. He did an excellent job of vetting our personnel to be hired. And so, you know, he will definitely be missed.
He adds that he and McCoy became great friends over the many years of working together in the Ministry of Education.
I know he was very active in the community. He would be missed by the tennis community. But as the Ministry of Education goes, we are very, very saddened by his loss. On Monday, prayers were offered collectively by the Ministry of Education staff, and we want his family to know that we will continue to pray for them during this most difficult time. And so the director extends his condolences, and everyone within the ministry is saddened by his passing.
Well, tonight we continue with our series, No More Silence, Surviving Sexual Abuse. In this edition, we speak with a young woman who alleges that she became a victim around the age of 4.
I can remember my abuse starting when I was about 4 or 5 years old. How he was exposed was through another family member that walked in, and she exposed it to my mother. So I can remember it being a big argument and a big chaos, and I can remember my mother packing up his stuff and putting him out. But he came back.
How soon did he come back?
It felt like 2 days. It could have been longer.
What was it like for you as a child when you felt like this person was exposed, removed from the home, and then came back? Emotionally, what was that like?
I felt betrayed. You know, because as a mother now, I understand how I looked to my mother for help. You know, when she put him out, she was like my hero. But then when he came back, it was like, okay, then this is supposed to happen. You know, because if my mother, who's my protector, brought the pain back in, then this is what it's supposed to be. She left me alone with him. And my mother, she was a young mother. She was only about 24 years old. And she had another child, my 1-year-old brother, and another one on the way. And how that first episode ended was my mother died in a car accident. So she and a baby girl, they died together.
Were you ever angry with your mom?
I wasn't angry. Because like I said, I was so young. I was only 7 years old. So my emotions was like in a whirlwind. You don't know what you feeling.
Right.
You don't know what you feeling. But when she died, even though I mourned her, it was like something inside of me said that now it can be okay.
But she says it wasn't.
My family took me, and it stopped for about 2 years, and then it started happening again because a male was brought into the home, and that's when it started all over again. So my predator was confronted in my presence, and a simple no, that is not true, was just blown off. You know, so that was another situation of betrayal. So it left me to a point of just dealing with it and enduring it until I was able to fight for myself.
So once he would have been exposed, did he continue to do it after it was blown off?
Yes, that gave him power. You know, it's like you give him the permission to do it. You know, so why would he stop?
At what age did it stop?
I was about 13, 14 years old.
And how did it stop?
Violence. I started sleeping with a knife under my pillow. I laugh at it now, but it's serious, you know, because he would come in like a shadow, you know, and I would just see the shadow and then feel the violation to my body, and then, so I started sleeping with a knife under my pillow, and I just would stab at the shadow. And so that's when it stopped.
You mentioned earlier the issue of secrecy, people keeping this a secret and protecting predators. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that persons who keep this secret, they are just as bad as the predator. Because like I said, you're giving him, or it could be a male or female, you're giving that person the authority to ruin this child. You know, so I feel as if they should be held just as accountable.
What do you say to those mothers who believe, well, this is the breadwinner in the house? If we remove him, how do we make it? We can't do it, so you have to endure until you can't anymore.
Well, I'm a single mother, and so I can honestly say that it can be done without that breadwinner. Because I speak of God a lot because I trust and I believe in Him, and so that's where my help comes from. So when you prostitute your children, because that's what it is, when you prostitute your children to the breadwinner, you know, that like I said, you are a failure.
Now, Melissa has started a new organization called A Cry for Help, and she encourages victims who may need someone to speak to email her at acryforhelp2017@gmail.com, or she can be reached at 813-3714. Now, if you are a victim of sexual abuse, we advise you to also contact the police at 911-919 or contact the Bahamas Crisis Center at 328-0922. Her alleged perpetrator has never been charged. Now it is time to ask the doctor.
I'm Dr. Winnie Pratt. Welcome. Kevin from Nassau asked, my mother is in her mid-60s and has given up driving at night. She says it's because of night blindness. I've never heard of night blindness before. What is it? Kevin, thanks for a great question. Night blindness is a fairly common vision problem, particularly for older adults. As we age, many processes in our bodies begin to work differently. And for many of us, that includes our vision. If your mom had good vision in the past, she's likely experiencing some age-related changes to her eyes. Cataracts can often cause difficulty with night driving because of the glare from oncoming headlights or because of blurring caused by cataracts. Other causes of night blindness include glaucoma, diabetes, vitamin A deficiency, or side effects of certain medications, such as some drugs used to treat high blood pressure or rheumatoid arthritis. An examination by an eye specialist can help determine the specific cause of night blindness. Treatment is directed at the underlying cause when possible. Remember, the earlier a problem can be diagnosed, the greater the chances of improvement or recovery with treatment. I'm Dr. Winnie Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
So that's Rumiko Knowles has a check on sports when we come back.